I think that this becomes one of those times where we were all thrown into this quarantine and stay at home and remote working space, and Zoom and all of these brand new tools that we had to come accustomed to using and collaborate on. It's amazing how when sometimes you don't have a plan and everyone's forced to think creatively and collaboratively, and you just have to trust that, how much actually just occurs. And I'm in awe at how easy the transition was. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with digital transformation that's been happening for years generally in the industry, but just how people adapt so well when you just trust that they will. I think that one of the things that goes along with trusting your employees is giving them a goal and giving them vision, because it's a lot easier to quote unquote trust or make somebody accountable or responsible to something when they have an understanding of what they're trying to accomplish and why they're trying to accomplish it, which is very much what an outcome is, right? It doesn't dictate how, it doesn't dictate the process, it doesn't require micromanagement. It requires very clear definition and maybe some KPIs that can help you understand whether you track properly. But ultimately, that's what an outcome is. And it's sort of evil twin brother, the output, right? So a lot of people confuse those two things. And the output itself can be, you could be going very, very, very quickly and building a lot of things and transforming a lot of things, and they could be the wrong things. And we call this sort of in Scrum, moving tickets from column to column. That doesn't necessarily equal value. It doesn't equal an outcome that you're looking for. It's just movement of task and it's sort of usage of a person's time. So output can lead to good outcomes, but it doesn't necessarily mean it will. Whereby outcome is an outcome. It's tied strictly to value and a goal statement. And as we go more remote and we have less ability to manage in traditional ways, we're sort of forced to think, how do we allow people to do the things they need to do, to trust them, but still align them towards the direction that the company wants to go? And I think goals, value, outcomes are the answer to that.
It is always harder to talk about change. People are freaking out about change when you discuss in meetings and you have your vision charts up top. But as soon as you execute the change itself, people seem to calm down, they pick up and they move on. And that's exactly what we saw. If we had talked about the upcoming pandemic, if this was a planned event, it would have been chaotic. It would have been a mess. The fact that nobody had time to plan for it and communicate about it, it was that much more easier for us to go with the flow and take on. I believe that the reason why people understand that outcomes are important or output, but they still have a challenge with it, is because in our daily lives, we don't think about outcomes. We only think about outputs. I mean, think about this. I have an 11-year-old son at my home, right? I have, for the life of me, never told him what the outcome of taking the trash out is. I've always focused on the output. You got to take out the trash. And then he'll do it. Sometimes I'll have to do a little bit more coaxing. But that's what I was thinking about to it myself, saying if we were to think about our personal life in terms of an outcome perspective and not just output. Output is easy. Everybody gets it. We need to know and we can point to a task and that's what needs to get done. But if you take a little bit of a time and think through about what is that you're asking, why are you asking why am I asking my son to take out the trash? I think that makes it a little bit more easier. Now, he may or may not do the task, but at least my way of sharing information with him, showing him a bigger picture of, the hygiene and all around it, I hope to God that makes it more built into him, lets him out to be a longer lasting habit. So I don't have to ask him to do the exact same thing.